Each year, St. Louis and historic Union Station host the Midwest Model United Nations. Since 1960, the Midwest Model United Nations has been giving college students the most practical and diverse introduction into the world of international diplomacy. Students from universities across the country take part in representing their United Nations member state in various committees that focus on critical and complex international issues.
The illicit trade in small arms and light weapons.
Rule of law and its implementation in concert with criminal justice systems.
The Middle East issues with making Palestine a state and Israel's reaction to them.
The UN's role in peace building in a broad sense, as well as specifically Afghanistan and Sierra Leone as peace building projects.
The weapons of mass destruction and nuclear terrorism.
These issues are just one part of the Model UN experience in St. Louis. Students also learn about themselves through the process.
I would encourage people who are unsure, thinking about doing it, to do it, because not only do you learn a lot about yourself, like working with people, and you also have fun. You're building interpersonal skills with people, and particularly you're actually finding out how the UN works. I mean, this is not everybody gets along. There's debate, and things take time, and it's really accurate. I like it.
The St. Louis Midwest Model United Nations Conference has always been a benefit for those students who have taken part in the diplomacy, consensus building, and international perspective that is the Model UN experience.
I guess the thing that sticks with you the most is that you're really able to participate in something that not a lot of people ever get to do. The number of people that get to represent their country anywhere are very few in number. And it's amazing to kind of thrust yourself into a position to, say, take a stance against something that you may believe in, or to defend something that you also believe in quite fiercely. And I think that the ability to see both sides is what everyone should take away from these conferences. And it's not so much that you do all your research, you know everything about your country. It's about learning a lot about the international community as a whole. And I think that's what you really get to discover when you're forced to work in a system that there isn't one view of the world, and I think this is what you finally see here.
I love trying to build consensus. I like working with people and acting diplomatically. It's fun to try and find common ground, especially when two nations may initially seem to have very little in common. A lot of people complain that some of the resolutions end up watered down because of compromise, but I think it's important to find where the common ground is and try and build on it.
The Midwest Model United Nations also attracts world leaders that take the time to share the international perspective. Baruch Bina, Consul General of Israel, shared his knowledge during the opening session. After interacting with the students that attend our conference, he was impressed.
What really struck me, what really meets the eye, is the fact that they relate with full sincerity, and they get ready, they get well prepared, they know the materials, they know the stuff, they ask questions, and they wait for answers. And it's very impressive.
St. Louis has a long history of being engaged in international issues, but even in the Congress, where I'm a member of the Foreign Affairs Committee, there are very few members from the Midwest. Most are from the East Coast or West Coast. So I think it's important that we here in the heartland of the country step up, be engaged, use our traditional common sense, and be a part of that world discussion.
By the end of the conference, students have a clear understanding why the United Nations is so important to the international community.
The fact that it provides a forum for discussion. There doesn't necessarily need to be an outcome for the forum of discussion. A good example would be the Cuban Missile Crisis. There was no forum for the Soviet Union and the United States to talk to each other than the UN during that period. And had they not had that exchange, who knows what would have happened.
Everyone would like to change the world in some way, but I think the United Nations gets to do that on a daily basis. And they get to do that through the means of this diplomacy. And if that's the language of this organization, I think it's a valuable one to have.
The Midwest Model United Nations invites you to explore the opportunities that our conference provides for students from across the country. For more information, please contact us at www.mmun.org. We look forward to seeing you in St. Louis.